our minutes. Our minutes from the meeting of June 27th. And if you haven't reviewed them, do so. I need a motion to accept them or amend them.
I have reviewed. Move. We accept them.
Second.
Okay, a motion made by Aaron, second by Tom Malcolm to accept the minutes as presented. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, those in favor of the motion? Those opposed? None opposed, thank you. The business to be discussed, there's no old business, the business to be discussed is a review of site plan review application to construct a car wash building on property located at the intersection of Cedar Street and Balsam Drive. And in your packet, you've got the application and maybe some other information that I can't recall that was in my packet. But what I'm gonna do is turn it over to Mike and Matt, whoever wishes, or both of you, to be speaking to this. The floor is yours. Just tell us what you're gonna do. Like I said, I'm interested, we're interested in the footprint of the building. You already indicated in the schematic, setbacks from different property lines, rights of way, things like that, but the floor is yours.
Well, number one, I apologize for that. I've never done this before. Hopefully I never do it again. Started this about a year ago, not knowing exactly how to attack it. I got a hold of Tommy and Jimmy Schratt and Paul Parklock. This was last December, January. We thought things over and I've been slowly trying to progress with this. It's turned into way more of a project than I thought. My financier banker has did a pro forma with Car Wash Solutions, building it. According to him, it's a no-brainer. There is a dining one, the car wash out back, trying. Negotiating with the owner out back and buy that property. I'm not going to develop that as a car wash. Which is basically for me to square my property off. You guys all know what kind of shit that building is. Whether or not come to it, I don't talk about it. As far as everything else goes, project cross my T's and dot my I's. Got a whole team they're on board. Got a whole of everyone in the town that I could possibly think of. Try to get some guidance on this. Tommy's been great. Help guide me through this. That's guys have any questions, but try to answer. I don't have the answer. Building's going to be 40 by 40. 30-foot setback off. 30-foot setback off Cedar Street. The back of it would be 60 feet back from my property line. Exit back out on Cedar Street. There'll be an entrance off Balsam Drive in Cedar. Currently there right now. I don't know whether you guys are aware. A lot of us do. I mean, that was the biggest Chrysler dealership in the state back in the 70s. I bought it as a dilapidated property, fixed it up, new roof, heating system, a store in there. I'm trying to bring it back as much as I could. So it's still a work in progress. Come a long way over the last.
I'm one of the tenants building, so I mean that property is definitely.
Can I ask you about the building size? The drawings by Hardy indicate 45 by 45, indicating that the building 40 by.
I'm sorry, yes, 45 by 5.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Because I did notice that it says 40 by 40 on your schematic, but the Hardy drawings indicate 45 by
Yes.
Right.
And I wasn't sure, I had to call Todd on that, I wasn't sure whether the building was 40 by 40, if that included the apron or not. Because there's gonna be an apron on each side where you go in, but he indicated to me the building would be 45, but I just found that out yesterday, after I'd already turned my tag.
Tony, may I ask a question?
Yes.
Mike, if it's actually 45 by 45. Where, based off the schematic that you submitted, are you gonna take the extra 5 feet? Are you gonna take it from the building side? Because you won't be able, I say you'll have to take it from that side.
Yeah, I
You
would
won't
take
be
it
able to
from, I would take it from the
setback
building
on the
side, yes,
Okay.
Yeah.
So that would just need to be an understanding.
Yes.
You wouldn't have the setback on the other side.
Right.
Okay.
and actually, Sean, when they come up to the layout on the building. I would really like to have you there to make sure that we've got all our setbacks and everything, know exactly where you guys want them, because we've got plenty of room to move the building. One way or another, depending on, what you prefer to have there, nothing there is cast in concrete.
Tony, just to clarify then. There is still enough room, even with the change in the building by 5 feet each side to meet setback requirements.
I was gonna say, I was wondering that. It's 650.
Huh?
But that's 650, but 30 feet seem like more than
It-
enough.
It is for the highway, it's highway commercial zone up there, so yes, it is.
When I look at the layout, then from the building going, that would be north, towards Balsam, you'll have 45 feet, 145 feet. And I'm not anticipating problems, but I want to throw it out there as far as vehicle backing up like that. That's
Boys, I
Just-
can't imagine it, Tony.
There's so much maneuverability in that parking lot that it wouldn't matter. Even getting around the building with the building being an extra 5 feet, it's not gonna matter. Plenty, ability room. We have trucks that park in better, big size, that doesn't. I don't anticipate that.
well, as far as the footprint of the existing buildings, then this one adding, but they're not exceeding any capacity in that regard. So I was just wondering if you had thought about the situation where you might have a lot of people coming in, and I imagine they're gonna be coming off Cedar.
That is,
Either Cedar or Balsam.
the more likelihood is they'll be coming in off Cedar as that was closest end.
Okay, because the entrance on Folsom really is in the energy building sign.
Yes,
The Balsam entrance between Knife Edge, Bragton Energy and Car Wash.
Yeah. Right. Topolis, you go along with there any, with anybody, just a joke. Sorry.
Thank you. Yeah. I'm sorry if, I just have a quick question. There's a, car wash half a block, right?
Right beside it.
Is he here?
Mike's here.
We just had, that's what he was just speaking at the beginning. We're in negotiation to buy that property.
Okay,
Obviously, we can't go build, but it's just early stages.
okay.
So we don't know if we'll end up acquiring it. We don't plan to develop another car wash. However, we do want to purchase the property.
Okay, thank you.
Any other comments? All right, one, you mentioned, Matt, about doing something up, give for other individuals that might not have.
Sure. I know that my father's sketching is best. You mind if I? Not at all. So this is the property that you guys have seen as a hand sketch. This tiny building out here is now Bragton Energy. This picture is a little old. And then this over here would be barbecue house used to be and currently sits Knife Edge. There's one tenant here, which is Bragton Technology, and then right here would be where the new car wash would go, and this building right here is the other car wash that you spoke. That would be a drive-in car wash that you would get out and do yourself. What you're doing is a touchless car wash that is not manned. So if you went to Bangor, there is on Hogan Road that is manned, and then Docks is touchless. This would be more comparable to one in Lincoln, Dysart's. Or the one by Walmart. It's a little gas station. It'd be more like that. Drive in, drive out. Okay. So if you look at the schematics for the Condor system that's in your packet, there is a description showing the vehicle driving in, would park directly in the middle. The doors would close on both sides. The car would wash, and then you would pull out seconds later.
Just to orientate, Cedar Street is at the upper part of the,
This is Cedar Street right here. This would be Central Street, and this is Balsam.
and the buildings, okay, that's the,
This is the existing car wash. This is Lamson, and then this is currently Knife Edge. That's Lamson Funeral Home. So this is the entrance we were talking about. The drive-in, plenty of maneuverability in the parking lot. Really big on this. I promise it's just as big as. There's plenty of space for people to get around other vehicles. Be zero need for backing up. Even if someone wants to pull out a line, there would be plenty of space to drive around the building and be able to get back onto.
It's just the one,
There's
just the one place, what,
it's two bays. So there'll be two instead of just one, like you see in like.
One side would be like a self-service bay, where you could pull in, like with your snow sled trailer or your boat, if you came off the Golden Road or whatever and wanted to hose it off, you know, before you bring it home or whatever. And the other one would be just a drive touchless.
Correct.
could be,
the one is self-service, so to speak, and the other one is functional in the sense to buy a service.
Basically, yeah, you just pull in, swipe your credit card, or I've already been contacted by several businesses in the area that have like a corporate account where they can wash their vehicles once or twice a week.
We're exploring monthly pass options. And it's gonna be coinless. We're not saying right away coins. So there should be less involved in that road.
Any other comments from?
Do you expect traffic to back up the street at all? Like, do you think there'll be long enough lines where they'll back up to either one?
Either the property's huge. I mean, we're obviously gonna paint lines to designate, you know, where they should go. But again, the parking lot is so big, the chances of that happening and how fast this car wash is, I've never been to the one, it's pretty fast. They never back out to the road, and I don't expect us to. Look, there's actually, there's a piece of paper that talks about average per day. On a high day, it is estimated that we do between 35 and 60 car washes. Doesn't sound like a lot. Realistically it is, but all of that at once is very.
Yeah, just a simple question. I understand no coins, but is there no cash?
We will be accepting bills, yes, just no point. There is hassle involved, there's maintenance involved, there have been that have coins to manipulate machines. You know, dollar bills are a different exception. There's obviously more ways to tell if a bill is real versus coin, American coin. There's just too much hassle with coins nowadays. No, keep it simple, $2 bills, credit cards, and passes.
Yes, Mike, any more discussion relative to your application? Wanna, for the board, public concerning?
I don't know whether this is relevant. Planning board, but I have been in touch with Tango Hydro. lines coming across here, building, the boom, they're going to put another pole there, everything will be underground, both buildings now. Whether or not that is relevant.
Small building out front already has lines underground. It's just a big building that we're working on getting the electric.
These lines where his arrow are right there will go away and everything will be.
Yeah, I got information, about another pole that,
And the hydro's handling all that. I've contracted with that. Brown Electric, he works real close with Tango Hydro. So, they've got a plan in place. To be honest with you, Tony, but that's way out of my wheelhouse. They just told me that it would be legal and all that stuff. Tango Hydro's comfortable working with him and everything will be done up.
can I ask you one other question? Entrances are shown on this schematic that you submitted, but are there limitations on getting onto the property? I thought it was kind of like a flat surface.
Tractor trailers pulling in and out of there all the time.
Yeah, but I mean, the like the exit on the south side got 60 feet to property, that's this other car wash,
Right.
and they'll be going, I assume, to the left, going towards Cedar Street.
They would be coming out, basically where Matthew's arrow is, not onto Mike's, I'm leaving Mike Sears' property out of the mix, plus we make a deal. That's why I wanted 60 feet when you pull out of the car wash, actually turn onto Cedar Street. 90% of the cars will probably wind up going back on Central Street.
The only reason they would ever stop onto the other property back here. That's really the only.
All right, I mean, as far as buffer on the property.
Now that picture.
They're not there anymore.
Way before I even. bought
That
the
would be
property.
this road right beside land.
Okay.
Yep.
We took that car out.
This
So-
is from
so-
2016.
That one?
Yes, this is from 2016. This was right before or after we bought. That being said, the buffer that you're referring to, grass buffer, the road, it looks terrible in this photo and we're slowly rehabilitating property cost. Best we can. But we're pavement, we're grass, we have like this building, example, small building. Basically falling apart, all new loom, the grass is beautiful, see the dogs out there playing all the time when you go. And there's flowers. So it's coming to what we in it, but again, awesome.
Let me ask, other comments, planning board members, what about, public attendance? Are you attending as a adjoining property owner? Okay, so you were informed about this, right, and you're all for it. Okay, so, yeah, but what I was concerned about is that you had a chance to express any concerns that you might have.
What did you say you were, John? Okay.
I own that.
As done with other, developments, anything than 300 feet of property, developed, property.
Well, technically it'll be 4 hours, but it turns into a headache with cars. I can't imagine anybody. Washing cars, if it turns into a headache, we'll cut our hours back. The one in Lincoln's 24 hours, and I talked to the manager down there. She said their wash is between like 10 p.m. and 5 a.m. 1 or 2 tops. So it may even be if it turns into a headache where I'm getting phone calls at midnight, then I'll cut the hours.
So as far as the operation of the facility, there will not be someone present other than someone.
Will not be manned.
No.
There'll be cameras everywhere.
There'll also be people on the property.
Sorry.
There'll be people on the property that the Dragon Energy runs for at night hours. On top of. That can. Property will always be accessible via cameras. Or, you know, I live right down the street. Up. But there'll always be some kind of.
All right. Any other questions from planning board members? Was not, I want to move into section 15111, which is the criteria that we will review just to go through procedure on application. On section 125-111 site plan review criteria. I'll review I'll mention the different sections and we won't dwell on it, but we won't, just overlook things. I won't ask for motion on each point, but if there's something, that's. Okay. Says adequate provision has been made for off-street parking and loading. Well, as far as the loading, I don't know. And off-street parking this isn't a retail business. You're not going to be parking anything. You have ample space. But this is like a restaurant or.
I mean, there is on the front of the building, where Night Veg Trading Post is, that is a retail business. Cars
Yes.
come and go all day long.
And I have a business on the other side, but I have maybe one or two. I do a lot more house calls than I do.
Just not applicable to the application.
Correct.
Next one is adequate provision has been made for traffic movement of all types, pedestrian, into and out of, and within proposed project. The board shall consider traffic movement both on-site and off-site, making the determination under this criteria. A lot of verbiage, but essentially to make sure that we're not causing issue that I don't anticipate anything, just situations where we might have a number of vehicles that are backing up, but ample space and just not something that I can. I'm not gonna worry. I don't see it again.
Look at page 5.
Okay, I'm gonna move on. Any traffic increase attributable to the proposed project result in congestion or conditions on a road in the vicinity of proposed development. That's not anticipated, mentioned in the application. Big number, 43 vehicles on average, maybe as many as 57 vehicles, again, on the average. I don't see that. Gonna move on. Proposed project will be built on soil types. Stop right there. This site is development. Not a greenfield, we're not venturing some, to ground, so I don't see that, paragraph B being applicable. Site has already been developed, blacktop building. As far as, this is gonna be on a base, pad,
Cement slab.
yeah. There's nothing, yes,
Do you reclaim the water, Mike?
No,
Or is
no, we're not doing a reclaim system.
Going into the
I
sewer.
talked with Aqua Main and, actually, the guy who's building it also talked with, them, and it's not, I guess it's not required. They didn't see it being an.
Oh.
No, I actually had Jimmy Charette up there, to look it over. There is in your packet, it's almost like a septic tank, I guess you'd call it, where solids, all the salt and the crap that comes off the vehicles go into that, and I will periodically have to have that pumped. So basically, it's just gonna be liquid.
So essentially it's gray water waste.
Gray
during
water,
the
yes, yes.
System. Any other comment? Gonna move on. Adequate provision has been made to locate, sign, a proposed outdoor display, that's just right there. Is there gonna be any sort of displays or anything? Provided?
Or, I mean, there'll be,
No, there will not be any outdoor display.
Okay,
There'll be no sign?
There'll be a sign.
There will be signs, yes, so if you go to the property now, there's your sign that has knife edge, part house, counter right now. I'm in the process of finishing the sign base for our logo and our slogan. Drive by now banner, but there will be a final product.
Basically, the Chinese people are not there.
Right.
We're gonna utilize that same space.
on. Adequate provision has been made to avoid any hazard, travel, public and private ways, or any glare or other use of public and private property. I don't see this being concerned. Say,
There's no residence there?
no.
Closest
there is,
residence.
The, on the south side of Tamarack Street. But as far as, lighting, glare, that. Adequate provision has been made with regard to buffers, screening, landscaping, and preservation and enhancement of significant natural. I don't know what natural features might be there, but essentially light, property, field. I don't think. Texture.
You did mention landscape.
Working on facilitating the property. Go. If you drive by now, I promise grass is significantly better than on it. Pulled a lot of unmentionable things out of the grass. You know, it's fine.
You guys have all lived here all your lives. You know what that building looked like 10 years ago.
It was not safe. On top of the concrete, yes, the mechanic there, we found grass. It's much better shape now than. And again, we're still putting money in the property, but.
But as far as buffering, screening, Joe, this would be
I see that's.
adjoining property. I don't see that. One. Adequate provision has been made to avoid unreasonable adverse effects on the scenic and natural beauty of the area, such as, I don't want to labor that section. The site has developed. There is no natural beauty per se of the area. Fraction based on this in the. Not as if. No. Very. Whenever a project situated whole or in part within 50 feet of horizontal water, prison, not within any proximity, any surface water. One. Adequate provision has been made to prevent any significant adverse effect on public health, safety, general welfare of the neighborhood or community. Anybody add or state something like it? One. adequate provision has been made to prevent any undue adverse effect on property values adjacent nearby property. Individual that's living on the south side of Tamarack, that would be maybe a concern I have, but other than that, I haven't heard anybody, and no one other than you notified of this application present night. The other not. All right. Move on, unless there's something to say. Adequate provision has been made to ensure the proper operation of proposed businesses or activities on the site with provision of adequate appropriate utilities, drainage, water supply, sewers, disposal, solid waste, disposal, access, parking, zoning, other site improvement. And I missed L just above it, which dovetailed into municipal service. And just to let people know, when this application and contacted police chief McDonough, contacted Ray, Public Works, Jason Ingalls, wastewater treatment plant, John Cody, with the fire department. I also contacted the water company, even though they're not a municipal service, private company supplying water. Essentially, I got replies back from John. I got a reply back from Jason. Others did not reply, not surprising. Ignoring the situation. I don't.
No one objected.
I'm sorry,
Nobody objected.
nobody objected.
Did I hear you say wastewater?
Yes, yeah, Jason Engels, was informed. The, individual who took over from, Brett.
Gave you a response?
Yes, he did. Essentially, I've got it in my packet, not to give you verbatim, that anything that's gonna be, materializing from this project can be handled by the, wastewater treatment plant. Discussed about the solid collecting and some sort of septic, if you will. Essentially, the exit property will be gray water.
I heard that earlier, I just hadn't heard the Ingles. Ingles is the new.
That, Jason Engels.
Thank you.
And adequate provision has been made to assure that proposed development conforms to all aspects of provisions in this part two zoning ordinance. And not to get into this, but essentially the standards, site standards in section 8 of the zoning ordinance, what's being discussed here. I personally went through that, deals with multiple of things, home occupation and other aspects. I didn't see anything that was gonna be concerned based on what appears in that section 8. So someone wants to discuss something, I don't wanna gloss over it, but I don't wanna make something. Now I'm gonna move on. The last one is the applicant has adequate technical and capacity, capability, to carry out the project as proposed, meet any conditions of approval applied by the planning board. As far as the financial development of this property, we discussed this prior to about fascinating.
Yes.
Okay, and they will send a
I will,
document indicating.
I will forward a letter to all, to the management and CEO by the end of the day tomorrow.
You do that, that'll get it in the files, and we've done that before with others, but that it's something that needs to be verified. Just to make sure that the town is not left project. Yeah. But not a- Finance.
No, and I apologize for that. I didn't know. I should have looked at that a little closer. That, I mean, you guys don't know Mike Kelly. I mean, he could have been anybody. He is the commercial loan officer for Giant Savings. Will definitely, it's probably already on my.
So that was the only open-ended thing, getting this financial document will be provided. But based on that section 125.11, I need a motion that if we reviewed it, find out everything is being acceptable, with verification that the financial documentation coming, but
I'll make that. Don't have to repeat it.
no. A motion made by Michelle, second by Tom Malcolm, essentially that section 125.11, that you, the project is in compliance with those criteria. Enough said in that regard?
Yeah.
Okay, discussion of the motion. No discussion, anybody from the public? None? I'll call for the question. Those in favor of the motion to approve this, view of section 125.111. Anybody opposed? I don't have anything else that's coming before the board. Take a motion to adjourn. By Tom Malcolm, motion to adjourn. Second. Second. Second by Charlie. Anybody opposed? All right. I'm assuming everybody is in agreement to adjourn. Thank you very much for coming. I got 5:38, 5:37. I do appreciate you guys showing up, public showing up. John, thank you for coming.
Yeah, good
We are-
evening, Sean.
We've done our business.
It's called